Welcome to Renovating Riches Radio. Today with Mr. Ike from Axe Lending. How you doing, Ike?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me here.
It's a pleasure, man. We've been trying to do this for a little while now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, today we're missing Mr. Dennis, who's actually out there on looking at properties, doing some rehab.
Well, somebody got to work, right?
Somebody needs to work. And in this case, it's Dennis. I'm the guy that's actually out here doing the podcast with Ike. But with no further ado, Ike, who are you, man? Where do you come from? You know, what were your humble beginnings?
Well, I'm just an immigrant kid. Basically came to this country when I was 13.
Okay.
My mother passed away when I was 5, so my father thought he was a single parent, so he had to take us somewhere like where we have a bright future.
Right.
And like when you're in these third world countries like Pakistan, India, like America is like that, the golden arch.
Right.
You know, you
the
want
land of opportunities.
Land of opportunities. And even you're older, you want to make sure your kids have those opportunities. So I'm very grateful for my father. He worked really hard. We were denied our visa twice. Took us 9 years to get the visa.
Wow.
But we came legally, everything, you know, it's not the border, we can just cross. We came from Pakistan, so it's pretty far. And then basically, I grew up in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, okay.
Yeah, and then 2 years after we moved to US, my father passed away.
Oh, wow.
So I was only 16 at that time when my father passed away. So I had a responsibility of younger brother and sister, and I had to make something out of myself.
Right.
So I was going to school and working about 3 jobs at the time. Started as a busboy.
Okay.
You know, pick up plates and stuff like that, and then made my way up to start working in a jewelry store. And that's where I realized I was a very good salesman. I sold over $1 million, and I was only 17 in 1 year.
Selling jewelry.
And that's where I realized, wow, I can sell. If I can sell jewelry, $1 million to older ladies.
This gold chain looks good on you, ma'am.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we did. And the thing is, one thing I learned in sales, people like talking about themselves.
Right.
But the thing is, you still gotta be genuine. Listen to them. Listen to their story. And that's how people like, okay, this person I can trust. Mm-hmm. And then I never really talked about the product. I was more into building up relationships. And that's what I did. And we sold a lot of jewelry. And then I needed some extra cash. I started as a bouncer. I was the smallest bouncer probably. I was only 170 pounds at that time.
A bouncer?
Check-in at the club.
At the club, okay.
At the club, yeah.
In Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
All right.
Check-in door IDs and all that. So that's how I made my way up. And then one day I saw these 2 Asian guys come in, and they have like freaking 15 girls with them. I was like, what's their story? Who are these guys? They come here every week. They said they are club promoters. I was like, what is club promoter? So they said they are the one promote the club. So I asked those guys to give me a job. But anyway, they didn't.
It didn't work out.
They didn't give me a job. So then there was other company which was their competition. I didn't give up. I would just keep going.
Yeah, you were looking for other
looking
people.
for opportunity. And one of the companies ended up giving me a job. They paid me $3 a person to bring person to the club, and person gets in free. I thought, wow, that's a win-win situation.
Right.
So I started promoting clubs, and then I left them. Actually, me and our manager had a big argument. He didn't pay me for one event, and I left.
That's easy to create new competition.
Right.
You don't pay the guy that you just trained to, to fill up
Exactly.
the room.
They trained me, and I started my own company. And right after I was let go from my job because of the economy wasn't doing that good.
What job did you have?
The jewelry store.
Okay. So they weren't selling, gold and jewelry, and it's really, it's not a necessity.
It's not a necessity. That's the first thing people cut out.
Right.
When there's no money. Because the depression was hitting us at that time.
Back in 2000.
I'm talking about 2006.
6? Okay.
Yeah. So I started a club promotion company and became the biggest one in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
Started making about $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I was living the life. But sometimes you're so young, you're only 21, 22, you're making so much money, you're on pretty girls all the time. You are the most popular guy. That gets in your head.
Right.
And then, God brought me right down.
Yeah,
It was
they
like,
put
hey,
you where you needed to be at.
exactly. I kind of started.
You better
losing
behave,
business.
son.
Yeah, I didn't behave very well. Let's put it that way. And
I love the club promoting thing because I did it myself as well.
Yeah.
So this is back when I was like probably, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, something like that.
Yeah.
And we would put 3,000 people on a weekend, on a Saturday actually, in one club in it wasn't South Beach, it was Key Biscayne out of Miami. And it was insane, man. But I was not the club promoter. I was working with these guys, and just shout out to Julio Mario and a few of my friends from LMG in Miami. They're still going at it. They're in their 40s, but now they have a bunch of minions that do the club promoting. So but
it gets old after a while.
Well, you're working nights, right? And then if you really want to have a family, it's tough because you're never home in the evening, right? Because you have to go to other clubs to promote, and you gotta go and
you gotta go the nights you're not even working. You gotta go to other clubs to promote, to bring people in to your clubs, and then you are the last person leaving there.
That's it. We speak the same language, that's why I didn't do it anymore either. I was like, oh man, this is not for me. Money was good. I got to drink for free. And all that, but eventually for me it got old.
Right. Similar situation here. So from club promoter, I'd rebounce again when I was down, and I met some investors, start owning nightclubs.
Okay.
And that's what I did. I was start owning a bunch of nightclubs and stuff. But then one of my investors, he was in the gaming industry. He was putting those little game machines in the gas stations in Georgia.
Okay.
I started working with him, start putting a lot of games out and all that. It worked out pretty well for us.
Those things make a ton of money, man.
Yeah, ton of money. But then the state legalized the gaming. State start taking 10% and we start taking 45%. So it worked out very well. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But the reason, then I ended up moving to Texas because I sold my company. And I had a non-compete sign. So that's the reason I ended up moving to Texas.
You couldn't do more gaming, I guess.
I couldn't do more gaming in Georgia. So that was one of the main reasons I was looking. I was like, maybe Texas. I came to Houston and I fell in love with the diversity here. And because Atlanta is pretty black and white.
Yeah.
And
green.
And
green. A bunch of different trees and
hills.
And hills, yeah.
Yeah, so
I was born in Atlanta.
You mentioned that.
But I can't live there, man, because the allergies will kill me. Allergy season.
Yeah, you get allergy shots for that.
Yeah, but still, I still get in very bad shape.
Right.
So you moved to Texas, and then what do you do here?
I get back in the gaming. So basically what we were doing, we had a federal license. We were buying machines from MGM and all these big casinos.
Okay.
We were refurbishing them and sell them to smaller casinos in South America.
Okay.
Basically buying the machine, one product, and just refurbishing and selling it to a different market. So it's still going.
Okay.
We still do pretty well with that.
Cool. So that's an ongoing business.
That's an ongoing business.
So how do you end up in real estate? Well, how do you make a transition from club promoting, gaming, into saying, man, I'm going to get into real estate?
I always wanted to get in real estate because all the people I met who did very well were in real estate. So so I started getting into real estate and started did some properties.
What was your first deal? What did your first deal look like?
It was a foreclosure in Richmond. We bought it for $460,000. It was worth like $700.
In Richmond, where?
Richmond Avenue in Royal Lake Estates.
Okay.
It's right next to Greatwood.
Oh, here in Texas.
In Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how we start doing the deals.
Oh.
And and then we end up selling it, and one thing after other.
So you basically flipped the foreclosure.
Yeah, flipped the foreclosures. Yeah, and then we did a little bit wholesaling. But then lending was very appealing to me. So the good thing is I've been really good at raising money.
Okay.
That's one of my strongest points.
Right.
So you put me at the front of investors, I would come out with a check more than likely.
Good. I'm the same way. You have to in this business, right?
Yeah, in this business. So we have some good football players who trust us with their money. Yeah, and that's how we lend out money.
Good deal, man. So how long have you been lending now?
It's going to be 1 year next month.
Okay.
And we actually even have a gala for that, for celebration for our 1 year anniversary. we did about $21 million in lending our first year.
In 1 year, that's pretty good.
For first year, especially when you don't really know the business.
Yeah, you're walking in basically blind,
Yeah.
and you do have some experience, but it's in a different
Yeah.
bracket because you're flipping or maybe some rentals or whatnot. You were maybe a borrower at one time,
Right.
but never the lender. So
Yeah. And I love what I do. I love looking at other people, and you learn so much looking at other people's deals.
right,
It makes you more educated.
right,
When you're doing your own deals.
right.
So that's the great thing about it. And our foreclosure rate is very low, less than 1%.
Yeah, because you get to qualify your buyers very well.
We qualify. We vet them. We want them to succeed.
Right.
Because I want the people to keep coming back to us over and over and over again.
Yeah, repeating business. And if I just lend the money to anybody and they don't qualify, they don't know what they're doing, then it's a bad business. And then Right.
I'm taking the property I don't want to take, and then they're bad mouthing you.
Right.
Oh, they foreclosed on us.
Right.
So that's one of the things I learned. You create this little funnel, your guidelines,
Right.
and you just take what's fit in that funnel.
Right.
So a lot of time we have to deny more, but I think a lot of time it's miseducation. People expect 100% financing, and they never done a deal,
Right.
and it doesn't make sense to me.
I see it on Facebook all the time when people go asking, does anybody know a private money lender or a hard money lender that can do 100% financing? And I know right off the bat, these people are newbies.
They watch these TV shows,
or they went to a seminar.
or seminar, and they say, "Oh, you don't have to put your own money." And it's a lot of miseducation out there, and there's a lot of people are teaching these people. I'm not going to say the name of the company. When I was trying to learn, I went to their seminar. It is exactly the same thing they were teaching. Oh no, you can get your first property, just maxed out your credit card, and we're charging $25,000 for the course.
Yeah, for some coaching program. You know how I've got at least 5 to 10 people that came to us after they've paid up to $50,000 on a coaching program, and they're like, Ricardo, how can I get a deal? Or and I was like,
what did you pay for?
But what was that coaching program teaching you? Like, and then they told me, well, they gave me all of these different materials, and then we had these weekly calls. But I was like, yeah, fine, but what did you learn? Like, I want to know what that money was worth, because there's some coaches that are good out there.
Yeah.
You pay them, and they're gonna make you go through the process, and you either make a deal or you go somewhere else and do something else. But I'm fully aware of the type of companies that you're talking about.
Right.
And we get
they're national. That's the crazy thing about
it. They advertise on the radio. They're on Facebook. And people fall into their funnel. Mm-hmm. They end up at a 3-weekend seminar that it might be very little or maybe a couple of $100 a ticket, and then they end up going to the next one where they think they're going to learn how to do certain things. And they pay a couple of grand, and then from a couple of grand, they get upgraded to the VIP diamond package, which is probably 25 grand. And then they say, but if you really want to do this, you pay 50 or 100 grand. And I mean, choose wisely on coaching. We get them all the time after they pay for that much. And by the time they get to us, it's unfortunate because they don't have money now to invest.
Right.
They maxed out their credit cards. They probably used all their cash, and now they're desperate, and they're like, how can I recoup my money? And I was like, well, you did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I always tell people.
I run into people like that. I just had one lady came to me, and for a loan, we offered her 80%. She's from India. And she was mentioning to me, she's short on cash. So I was like, so how do you want to do this? She was like, I just paid $40,000. To one of the companies.
That was the down payment she.
I was shocked. $40,000.
Yeah, 40 grand.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
Like you can do like 3 deals.
You can do more than 3.
Yeah, at the same time.
If you do little deals, you can do probably, let's say, $100,000 deal, all in. You're looking at 4 deals at least 4 deals because it's if
Yeah,
you're
we can land up to 90%.
90%, right?
Yeah,
So
10%
so
down.
tell me about your programs at Axe Lending.
So
What do they look like for a newbie? Let's talk about for a newbie.
So newbie, we basically we like to work with the people that at least have one deal experience.
Right.
That's what our niche point is. We do work with newbies, but we lend them only 80%.
Okay.
Because we want to make sure they have skin in the game.
Right.
Because we're not the one going to be at the construction side. We're not going to be at the houses rehabbing. We're not the one going to be dealing with the contractors. We want to make sure they have a skin in the game.
Right.
And when the people have no skin in the game, those other deals kind of scare me.
Right.
Because we want people successful.
Right.
Let's say if you've done one deal, that's still 80%.
Okay.
We lend out 80% of the cost, loan to cost, or 80 and plus 80% of the rehab.
Okay.
Once you've done 2 deals, then we can lend you up to 85%.
Okay.
Same thing, 85% loan to cost and 85% of the rehab.
Okay.
When you've done 3 deals, now we think you know what you're doing.
Right.
So we give you 90% of the loan to cost, which is not too many lenders do, and 90% of the rehab.
Okay.
So that's our programs right now.
And what sort of interest rates are they looking at?
We have one program, Rent 36, which is 3-year buy and hold program. We do about 75 to 80% on those, and the interest rates start from 8%
Okay.
on those. So you look at a fix and flip of around 9.5% to about 11.9%. Our highest is 11.9%, which is very competitive in the market.
Cool. And I know you're in different markets, right? Or in different states.
We can do 17 states. I can't really remember all the states top of my head, but we can do 17 states.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. Most of the Republican states. The laws are a little bit more on favor to do.
Right. For lending.
For the lending side.
For the lending purposes.
For the lending purposes, yes.
And you have a gala coming up.
Yes. We have a gala coming up on August 9th. It's at Hotel Derrick. That's our 1-year anniversary, and
which we're gonna be there, by the way.
Yeah.
So
you got 2 tables.
We got 2 tables. So hit us up if you want to be in the gala. I'm gonna put a link on the description where you can buy the tickets.
Yeah, and it's the first real estate investors gala, and I was surprised nobody does those, because we see a lot of smaller events all the time.
Yeah,
but there's not one big mega event.
Yeah, I think for the most part it's more informal events around the city, right? But what you're putting together is suit and tie. I mean, I say suit and tie, but he's telling me I need to wear a tuxedo. And people get to dress well that night, and you're gonna have the major, right?
The mayor, Sylvester Turner, is coming. Mayor of Sugar Land Joe Zimmerman is coming. He's actually on the host committee.
Okay.
Pete Olson, congressman, is coming. Sheila Jackson, congresswoman. Congressman Al Green. Ed Gonzalez, sheriff, he's coming. Sheriff Troy Nails from Fort Bend County. District Attorney Kim Ogg, District Attorney Fort Bend County. Brian Middleton, they're all coming.
Okay, cool.
And also, you're going to meet a lot of heavy hitters on the real estate, the people we do business with, and a lot of football players like Julio Jones, Roddy White.
Cool.
So a couple of the football players who do business with us, they're going to be there too.
Cool. Are you going to have anybody speaking about real estate, anything related to real estate, or?
No, this is more, we're going to be giving awards, like the plaques. So we have a networking, because what happened is when you start talking about real estate, people get bored. This is more fun party.
Okay.
This is more fun.
I love those parties where we don't get to talk about houses and that kind of stuff.
Exactly. No, we'll talk about a little bit what we do, but that's about it.
I'm pretty sure in my tables there's going to be a lot of real estate talk. We're all into real estate, right? So
7 to 8 o'clock going to be the real estate mixer.
Okay.
That's where going to be. We, if you see on the board, we got a lot of sponsors already.
That's good.
Yeah, we got about 15 sponsors already. People are jumping on this gala. Then on top of it, after 8 o'clock, the door open. It's a 3-course meal, salad, and then main meal, and then the dessert. We do have complimentary champagne all night.
Okay.
On the event. There is bars over there, but it'll be cash bars.
Right.
Then mayor will give a speech. And then a lot of the real estate investment, apartments, there's different categories. We're giving plaques, awards to we thought who was the best in the business.
Okay.
Or who was the cleanest in the business.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a category for a company who owns about 1,800 apartment units, and we did a couple loans for them, and we thought they're one of the best companies we know now.
That's good.
We have a real estate acquisition company we're giving up award to.
Okay.
So there's going to be a bunch of awards the mayor is going to give handing out. After that, there's going to be a couple of speeches and stuff. We'll talk about us a little bit, what we do. After 10 o'clock, it'll turn to more party. We have a dance floor.
Man, you guys don't want to miss this. I already want to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to have a tuxedo by the end of the night, but or at least the tie. But it sounds like it's a pretty cool deal. Like,
Yeah.
How do people get in contact with you?
Yeah, they can call our company, but they can call me directly also. I can give my number is 305-989-6028. Again, it's 305-989-6028. Or you can email me at ike@xlendinggroup.com.
And the website is xlendinggroup.com, right?
Your website is xlendinggroup.com.
Which is, by the way, that banner you're looking at right here.
Yeah.
So you guys do residential, commercial.
Again, commercial, we're becoming very aggressive. We do apartments.
Okay.
So we do same thing, just like if you don't have a perfect paper, or you don't have all the tax returns, things like that. So we are a bridge loan on the commercial.
Right.
So we are doing a deal right now, $5.5 million truck stop.
Okay.
We're doing about $7 million truck stop with funding in Oregon.
Okay.
It's a travel center, those TIs
Yes.
you see. We're funding those right now. Hotels, apartment complexes, shopping center. We're doing a shopping center.
So you can fund all the way from a little house all the way to a big building.
I like personally the big buildings.
Right, they're bigger loans, right? More money.
Yeah, more money.
But you're not turning your back on the little house.
No, but the fix and flip is still 70% of our business.
Okay, so it's
that's
the
still our
majority
bread
of
and
the
butter. Yeah, that's still bread and butter.
Plus, that's volume business, right? You
Yes.
can do more of those.
Yeah.
It's you're all over the real estate lending basically. Arena, I would call it.
Right.
And he's working with guys like me that we have deals, and then we need, for our buyers, we need lenders.
Right.
And then we pair the two together. So
Yeah, and it works pretty good.
yeah, it works for
both of us.
everybody. Everybody wins.
But we're also doing something a little bit different. We actually not only try to be a office company, we're trying to put our footprints all over.
Right.
So basically, we are opening an office in Atlanta, one in Sugar Land, one in Virginia, and California.
Okay.
So we do a lot of events.
Right.
We have a cigar event on June 13th.
Which is pretty good, by the way. Do you have to pay a fee for the cigar event?
That one is $30.
It's $30, but it includes, is it 2 cigars?
2 cigars.
2 cigars.
And the only reason we charge $30, by law, we can't give away free cigars. We got a citation for it.
Right.
So that's why we had to charge. So we charge just 2 cigar price. It's open bar.
Yeah, I've
free
been to it. It's
food,
pretty good. It's
and
pretty
live
good.
music, yeah.
It's pretty good. Unfortunately, on the last one, I don't think I was here in town. But
And then we have another one at Davidoff,
when is the next one? Your next event?
June 13th.
June 13th.
Yeah.
So look it up on the calendar on Axe Lending Facebook website.
Yeah, you can go to our Facebook page, X Lending Group, and you can see all of our events in there. We don't have any upfront tickets for it, so you just pay at the door.
Right.
We have normally 200 people in that event. Then we're starting a new event. We have another event, Davidoff, we do once a month. That's about 60 to 70 people.
Okay.
But from July, we're starting a new event with New Western.
Okay.
That's going to be our collaboration event with them. And that's going to be in Chapman and Kirby. And that's where we're going to fit 300 to 400 people.
Okay, good. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Guys, if you want to get in contact with Ike, he just gave you his phone number. Make sure you go back, listen to if you're driving, listen to the podcast again. If you're watching this video on YouTube, go back and rewind it. Make sure you send him a message. Go to his Facebook page and like it. He's the guy. He's the kind of guy that will pull you off to the side. He's like, "Let me look at your phone and see you like my page." Okay, so
I do that.
I know he does. That's what I'm saying. Which is pretty good, by the way. That's how you enforce followers. So
That's how you have 5,000 followers.
That's right. You enforce followers that way, right? So you have some great programs for lending. So don't be ashamed or scared of sending anybody in Axe Lending. He's got a pretty good, strong team. I see them all the time.
Yeah, we have about 16 people staff right now.
Yeah, I see them networking all the time, and you guys are doing a hell of a job at connecting with a bunch of different people. So reach out to them and said, hey man, Ricardo told me about you guys. Can you guys get me pre-qualified? The way I do it, guys, is if I'm starting to flip house, if I had to start flipping houses all over again, the first thing I would do is go get me pre-qualified with a lender.
Which is not an issue. There's like a small application, which is like about 1 page. We just fill it out over the phone. That gets you pre-qualified. That gives us the whole story.
Yeah, and once you get that letter of pre-qualification, now you can go buy a house.
Yeah. Honestly, it takes 1 call to get a pre-approval. I mean, we do not want to give out pre-approval just to the heck of it, because we don't want to tie up the properties for no reason. But on the other side, as long as you are a legit deal, we can give you pre-approval letter right away, within like a couple hours.
Then once you get the pre-approval letter, then you go shopping.
Yeah.
And get the house
then you
under
go
contract.
to Ricardo.
Now, if you're aggressive, like most of us in the real estate business are, you go lock up the property under contract, and now you send Axe Lending or whoever you're doing. You don't have to do it with Ike, but you should.
We're the best.
They have a pretty good, strong team. So send them the property, copy of the earnest money, copy of the contract, because now they know you're serious.
Yeah, and copy of the bank statements.
And the bank statements, right? So
you want to make sure you have the down payment.
You got enough money to get in the deal.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had known that when I started. I was completely, started the wrong way, and I couldn't find a hard money lender. I didn't know where they were. There were not. We didn't have these networking events that we have now, which we probably have 3 a night. In the city of Houston at least. Now you're looking at or listening or watching this podcast. It's easy, man. AxeLendingGroup.com. Send them a message. Send Ike a message or Tam or Cassie or any other
Jim.
Jim. His VP. Say, hey, Ricardo, I found you on the Renovating Riches Radio podcast, and I want to get pre-qualified to go buy some properties. What do I need to do? And they'll tell you the whole. They'll give you a whole list of things that you need to be doing, and then you should be buying a property a couple of weeks after that, because he's that quick. What's your quickest turnaround?
I close a deal in 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah. So as long as the appraisal is there, I can close 2 days after.
Okay. So 2 days after the appraisal, he can close you.
Yeah.
So anyways, Ike, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for inviting me.
I appreciate it. No problems. My pleasure. By the way, we were doing this today in Ike's office here in the Galleria area. So if you're in the Galleria area, make sure you can stop by. Yeah, come by and say hi.
We have an open door policy.
They got coffee. They got
we got a bar.
Water. They got a bar out there. So make sure you come and knock on the door and say hi. Don't forget to hit share, like, and subscribe. RenovatingRichesRadio.com, and send me a message if you got any questions. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.